Hello, everybody, and welcome to our presentation. Today, we want to present our project about learning how to detect disinformation. Our main topic will be talking about connection between video games and gun violence in America. Our team consists of 4 members from VGTU Engineering Lyceum, me, Džiugas Kairiūkštis, and my fellow students, Gerda Vicockaitė, Ula Montvydaitė, and Davidas Stanys. The format of our presentation will be quite simplistic but informative. It will have 4 main parts, those being the beginning, consisting of our motivation for this specific project and some other background information, then the middle, and in the middle we will have the presentation of our data, methods we used for finding the information we needed, and coding her. Then, near the end, we will discuss our results, and in the end, we will summarize the project and reflect on our journey while doing it.
So to start with, I will now give some information about why we chose this topic in the first place. So we chose this topic mainly because of 2 reasons. The first reason is that the connection of video games and gun violence are really important in some countries. And for example, United States of America, which has a problem of mass shootings. And the second reason why we chose this topic is because of the article analysis. The article analysis showed us that people usually react aggressively to this topic. And this happens because of agitations of some respected people. So the sensitivity of this topic and these factors that I told you earlier leads community to a lot of remarks, usually containing disinformation cases, which we found out interesting and chose this topic. So now I will give some background information about our topic. So first of all, I have to say that science has proved that there is no actual connection between video games and gun violence in the United States of America. Science studies says that the biggest problem that leads community to gun violence are the gun control laws in North America. However, because of the harsh nature and glorification of violence, the video games are usually the first ones to blame when something happens. Even more than the video games are already blamed for that, the former president of the United States of America, Donald Trump, stimulated the community by publicly blaming video games for mass shootings in El Paso in 2019. Also, the video games and mass shootings in the schools of the United States of America are getting connected because of the kids who now plays first-person shooters a lot.
We collected data from analyzing both tweets and remarks on newspaper articles. We chose a considerable amount of comments to examine. We analyzed and layer coded 24 tweets from Twitter, and those came up to 574 words. On newspaper articles, we found 7 comments, which contained 311 words. In found comments, we searched for keywords such as video games, violence, gun industry, people, gamers. These words helped us to detect comments on our topic and statements containing disinformation. After we gathered all the data, we coded it using these categories: negative emotions, personal values under threat, distrust, and external enemy. Coding led us to understand why people tend to get involved in these types of cases and why it gets so important to them to share their opinions publicly.
So now I will present the brief summary of the results that we found. Okay, so our results will be based on keywords and coded by categories. There are 3 categories in which we coded our comments. And these categories are called personal values under threat, which has whopping 11 cases in it. Then there are 10 comments, which has negative emotions expressed, and 5 comments in the category with an external enemy, which is getting blamed for mass shootings. We also found out that our comments has specific grammatical features like informal communication style, harsh and rude language, and swear words.
As we see here, the most popular opinion was about people being concerned about their personal values being under threat. People were expressing their thoughts about how video games do a huge negative impact on their children's, countries, and society safety. Somebody said, "Can we please think about the children? I won't let my son play video games. He will not become a killer." Another person said, "Video games are too violent and they all need to be banned for the safety of America." People were also showing their negative emotions towards games and people that are playing them. They were calling all gamers murderers. They also said that video games are violent because they encourage players to kill not just in games but in real life too. They believe that all events that had shootings during them have happened because video games exist. "I'm not a gamer, I'm not a murderer," somebody said. "We need to ban video games. If they didn't exist, this tragedy would have never have happened. And let's be honest, probably most other shootings and stabbings." Not so many people, but enough, were angry towards leftists. They are calling them stubbornly, willfully ignorant. As the last president of the USA, Donald Trump, openly thought about banning video games, he got praised by many people, even when not all of them were his supporters from the beginning. They were telling the world that guns do not kill people and the problem are video games. Somebody said that Japan doesn't have mass shooting problem because nobody plays any video games there. Here you can see more examples about what people were saying online. "I can't do it anymore. Guns don't cause violence. Video games like Fortnite and Call of Duty are stupid and dangerous. It's violent video games that kill people, not guns." In conclusion, people are scared that video games will destroy our society and guns do not kill people, but gamers who play video games do.
So the most interesting question to us was, why do people get engaged in this topic? And why they tend to believe gun violence and video games are connected? So first of all, video games being popular among kids and adolescents makes their parents care for their children. And as we all know, parents are always very caring and anxious for their kids. And when guns as well as violence are being talked about, they get extremely horrified. And also, when it concerns their children, it automatically concerns them. And lastly, people get engaged in this topic because its brutality in their lives as well as safety are being talked about. So naturally, they want to find out where that potential violence comes from so they could do something to stop it.
So, as I said in the beginning, it's time to reflect on our results and the journey we took to complete this project. First of all, one of the best things we learned here was the ways and tips on how to detect misinformation in social media or any other kind of information source. With this knowledge, it will be way easier for us to differentiate true information and misinformation. The other thing that we are proud of is that we got to work with so many amazing people, including our teachers. We expanded our English vocabulary because of this project. We did a lot more talking and writing in English, which helped us practice our skills and even learn a few new ones. We did not have many difficulties during the project, although the most difficult part was probably the creation of the video itself or communication with our team members. It was also not easy to code. We had to repeat the process several times before we were satisfied with our work. It was way easier to find comments on this topic on websites or social media than to look for comments with misinformation next to the articles themselves. In conclusion, this project helped us in many different ways, and we had a lot of fun participating in it. We hope you enjoyed the video. Goodbye.